So we'll get to know one after the other. Okay. So while looking into the beginning of carnivorous plants, I'm not getting into the much details of them, but in general, when we talk about the evolution of such a plant, why did they evolve, or why are carnivorous plants even existing? We have a lot of reasons for that. So when you're looking at different species of carnivorous plants that are already being studied now across the world, there are over 800 species. So all these 800 species, or even more than 800 species, now more of them are getting hybridized. New species are even being found very recently. So all these species have been, evolved at different lineages. So they have evolved, each family has evolved at different timelines of evolution. So what makes it similar is that most of them has found similar kind of trapping mechanisms, like different lineages, plants which has developed in different lineages has developed very similar trapping mechanisms, and even the digestive enzymes that are helping these plants to digest these insects are also having similar chemical combinations. So here in the picture, if you see, I don't know if it is readable, but you can see the top one is a cephalotus, and second one is the nepenthes, and this is a drosera, and this is an sarracenia, okay, American pitcher plant. So if you take cephalotus, nepenthes, and pitcher sarracenias, all three has pitfall traps. So pitfall trap, in the sense, it has a digestive liquid inside it, into which the insects fall, and it gets digested in the liquid. So all these three has developed in three different lineages, but the enzyme, the content of the enzyme has similarities. So what has come out of studies is that they all contain a particular enzyme which is responsible for digesting chitin. That means the exoskeleton of the insects that you find, the main ingredient of the exoskeleton is chitin. So it is a very interesting study that has come out that all three, which has developed in different times of the evolution, has similar chemical composition in the digestive juices. And if you see, the most oldest families of carnivorous plants are Nepenthaceae and Droseraceae. So both of them are the most common carnivorous plants that we see around the world. Now, there are people who, I've heard people saying that carnivorous plants would just die off if it doesn't get insects, which is not true. Actually, it is like, it is just for nutrition that carnivorous plants are catching insects and digesting them. So, what is the actual, like any other plant? Any plant that you see around the world, they survive using, producing food from photosynthesis. Even carnivorous plants also survive doing the same. But it is a nutrition that the extra, extra health benefit that it gets from insects is that it gets easy minerals like nitrogen and phosphorus. So it is mainly for its, producing, for the flowering and producing seeds that they actually catch insects. Excuse me. So usually these plants, they don't eat for calories, but they eat for minerals. And why do they do so is another question. Like, why is these plants catching insects? So the generally what we say is that they are mostly found in regions where there are no minerals or no nutrients in the soil where they are growing. So mostly what happens is that they need to find these minerals from some other source, not exactly from the ground level, maybe not from the roots. They will have to find their easy um, nutrition from the insects around them, or maybe small, even small mammals. So now we can look into the different trapping mechanisms that these different families of carnivorous plants use. So this is actually very interesting that people who know about carnivorous plants, I'm sure they are very very interested in Venus flytraps. So usually Venus flytrap is the most enchanting carnivorous plant that I would say. So people are very attracted towards it because it can show you the real action right in front of your eyes within seconds. So there are different types of trapping mechanisms in which there is action and also passiveness. So we can categorize the trapping mechanisms into two. One is active traps and another is passive traps. So usually in active traps, you can see action. So there would be movement in the plant in order to catch the insect and digest them. So the let's take the first example that I told you about, the Venus flytrap. It uses a snap trap mechanism. So snap trap would be like, it would be very rapid, and it is a movement in the some kind of movements will initiate the traps to close. So, in detail, when you look into a Venus flytrap, the two pads that you find in the trap, it is like an extension to the leaf, and the leaf is not broad, but very minimal leaf. So, the food that it can make out of photosynthesis is very limited. And once the trap is formed at the tip of the leaf, it is always open. Okay, it is always in a concave mode, and it will have feelers in them, which are not sharp, and it's not a thorny and very stiff one, but they are very soft. So these feelers, which are inside these traps, will be always, vigilant. So once it has a movement detected, if one feeler has a movement detected, it is alert and it waits for a second initiation. So once there is another feeler which gets another trigger, then the trap understands that it has to close. So it is not out of intelligence that it does. It is because of there are a lot of plant action that takes place inside. So when there is one action, one trigger, it gets ready, and for the second one, it closes. And even after the second trigger, when it closes, it waits again to understand if it is, it could be some a dry leaf that has fallen into the trap. So it might have touched two feelers at the same time. But what if it closes and starts releasing the digestive enzyme? It will go for no use. So it has to check uh, if the thing that has been caught in the trap is a potential food. So it waits. So maybe the first time it closes only till it very vaguely closes so that the insect doesn't go out, but it is closed, but it is not tight. So it'll wait. It'll wait for more triggers, and once it has started, when it closes, the insect starts struggling inside. Then it closes tight, like both the feelers, the hairs at the tip of the pads would go cross, and then it starts releasing the digestive juices. And these traps can remain closed up to 4 days, depending on the size of the insect. So it could be, if it is a small fly, it could, open up the second day, maybe. It could be jumping spiders, which are usually the food which I have seen trapped in Venus flytraps. And flies, of course, the big flies, and also so if you look at these preys that has fallen into Venus flytraps, they are not very slow moving insects at all. They are very quick, actually, in when they are in their usual motion. But even they are getting caught by these Venus flytraps. So you can imagine how quick their action is. And another example of an active trapping mechanism is the suction traps. You might have seen utricularias, these yellow blooming flowers. These belong to a plant called utricularia or bladderwort. These are aquatic carnivorous plants. So these plants usually float on water. And believe me, these are the most common carnivorous plants that you will find in Kerala or even in Western Ghats, because they are in every pond, every river which has possibly clean water. You might have seen the yellow blooms on top of the, from the surface of water, you can see a very light stalk and yellow blooms. You might have seen them in paddy fields or small ponds, etc. So these utricularias, they are very underrated plants, I would say, because their trapping mechanism is the suction traps, and it is considered to be the most fastest moving plant part, okay, in the world. That means you can understand how quick their snapping mechanism is. So I'll explain how their bladders work. So usually they're called bladderworts just because they have these bladder structures, which will enable them to trap very tiny micro organisms in water. So these bladders are considered to be a sack which has a door, and in front of the door there are some hairs, and those hairs are the feelers for these traps. So those hairs will detect movement of any organisms passing by, and these traps are usually closed and it is vacuum. So what happens is, when the feelers, when they get some kind of movement detected, they will just simply open up the door. Once the door is open, what happens to the vacuum sac is that it will suck in water. So when water is sucked in, it sucks in the tiny insect along with it. So the insect gets trapped inside the bladder. It will squeeze out the rest of the water, which was sucked in, and then it starts digesting. And these sacs, they are very delicate and they're very thin layered sacs. If you, by chance, if you see any utricularia plants in wild now, in the ponds or rivers now, you can check. You can simply take the, it's like a string of leaves and traps. So if you take it up, you can see few of the bladders might be black in color. Those are the ones which have already trapped a lot of insects. Some of them will be very, transparent kind of. That is the fresh traps, which are yet to catch something. So let's see. Yeah, here you can see a utilitarian sac, okay, which is and and inside you can see something moving also. So that is how it has trapped an insect inside. The hair here is a feeler, and it has caught something. So I was lucky to find something under the microscope. I was just checking on the bladder, and I saw something moving inside. So this is how the Venus flytraps work. This was artificially feeded just to take a video of it. But because usually I miss seeing them in live action, like, yeah. So it has closed. So this is how it remains initially. It has to understand that the prey inside is very active and a potential food, so that it closes very tight and then starts eating it. So now we get into the other section of trapping mechanism, which is passive traps. So passive trap, as its name indicates, they don't have any kind of movement related to it, or it doesn't actually, catch their prey. It waits for the prey to fall into it. So one of the most common and interesting carnivorous plants are the nepenthes, or the pitcher plant. So pitcher plants are usually the passive kind of trap, which has a pitfall trap. Nepenthes, cephalotus, heliumphora, and even catopsis, and there are a few other carnivorous plants which uses this kind of trapping mechanism, that is a pitfall trap. So what is a pitfall trap? Is that it has a lot of features which allow the insect to fall into its trap, and then it falls into the digestive juice directly, and it gets digested there. So all the features which lead to this trapping mechanism is that the peristome, or the mouth part of the pitchers, might be slippery. When the insects are hovering around the mouth parts of the nepenthes, or whatever pitfall trap it is exploring, it could be very slippery. But you might think, since they are insects, they have wings, they can just simply fly off. But all these pitfall traps, if you check them, they'll be having a tube structure, okay? And they have a narrow neck, maybe, and then it becomes bulged at the bottom. Anyways, it is like a tube structure. So once, I have seen them walk inside by themselves. So it is not actually like falling, slipping inside and falling, but they keep exploring the peristome because it produces a nectar. Nepenthes produces a nectar which attracts them. So early morning, when you check these pictures, there'll be a lot of insects flying around the lid and the mouth part, peristome. So there it explores, and it explores all the nectar it can find there. It is very sweet, believe me. Sometimes it crystallizes and looks just like sugar. So it's very sweet, and once it consumes that, it is actually like intoxicated. So it will be exploring the whole picture. It wants to explore inside also. I've seen them go inside, even butterflies, lizards, cockroaches, big ones. They simply walk into it. It is not easy to go inside, but it would simply, try to go inside. It pushes itself. And once it's inside, it is finished. Like, it cannot come out, because the whole wall of these pictures are downward facing hairs. So that makes it more slippery, and also it is they are unable to walk back, and it cannot fly in a narrow tube. It cannot use its wings to fly away. So generally, what happens? They can easily come inside, but it cannot go outside. So it is trapped, and it cannot. Once it touches these fluids, it is actually like they'll struggle for some time, and then they're paralyzed. So I have tried saving a butterfly out of this once, but I found that they are unable to move later. So it was finally again food for them. Uh, so that was a pitfall trap. Okay. And then there is a lobster pot or pigeon traps. These plants are not in India, but Genlesia is a genus of carnivorous plants which has corkscrew roots underneath. So it it works just like Utricularia, um, like their bladders. Utricularias have bladders in their ground level. So Gendesia also has their corkscrew um, roots in their ground level. Uh, uh, can we discuss the doubts later on or right away? Georgie, do we have
Later.
later on? Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Okay, so these are two scenes of insects exploring an apprentice picture. So usually they will hover around the pictures. They will be using, if it is butterflies, I can see the proboscis, searching all over the peristome, and then they go inside, and they would simply, you know, fall inside. So there is another category of trapping mechanism, which is called the flypaper or sticky traps. So this kind of trapping mechanism can be active and also passive, like not in the same plant, but there are plants which are active sticky traps, and there are inactive or passive sticky traps also. So one of the fine examples of passive sticky traps is the pinguicula or the butterwort. Butterworts are just like succulent plants. So there is one butterwort in India, which is in the Himalayas, and they have sticky surface. Okay, there are tiny droplets of sticky enzymes on top of the leaf where the insects get stuck. So it generally don't try to catch bigger or larger sized insects which can harm the leaf and damage the leaf, but it will get very tiny gnats and very tiny insects get stuck to them. So that is a passive sticky trap. And there is the famous Drosera or the sundew, which is also using the sticky trapping mechanism, which is an active one. Why is it active? Is that they have tentacles on their spoon-shaped leaves. So in this Drosera, if you see, the spoon leaf will have a lot of tentacles bordering it on the leaf blade, and there are sticky dews on another set of tentacles inside. So there, when the insects get stuck to them, these tentacles will wind the insect and keep it closed so that it doesn't struggle much. So always the plant is keeping their leaves and all their structures safe. Even though they need to trap them, they keep themselves safe without much damage. So these tentacles are very quick to act, but not as quick as a Venus flytrap would close. So they are a little slow, but they're very effective. So there are Drosera, which has different shaped leaves also, like a thin thread-like leaf. There are fork-leaved uh, Droseras, and there are typical leaf-shaped Droseras also there. So there are Drosera is a very big family, and actually Venus flytrap is also a member of Droseraceae family. So here you can see fly exploring a fork-leaved Drosera, which is called Binata. So, see, you know how strong these flies are. They have a very strong flight. They can simply fly away, but once they get stuck to these sticky glands, it it is unable to move. uh, Even the feet, if they are stuck, maybe they try to escape. But once their wings are stuck, it is like it's that is a deadly trap. And this is a butterwort, and it has very tiny glistening, sticky glands all over the leaf at the top. Yeah. So usually we would have this doubt that see these plants eat insects. So who will pollinate it for them? So what if the pollinators get eaten up? So that's a very common question, right? So in order to tackle this difficult situation, what these plants is developed is that the flower stalks that comes out of the plant, they are very long, and it would be very high compared to the plant. If a Drosera is just a coin size, the flower stalk would be at least 10 centimeters high. So that is how the difference of the level is quite different from the trap. The flowers would bloom very high or somewhere far away, so that they are safe and they can pollinate well enough for them to produce seeds. So all carnivorous plants, they are all flowering plants, and they produce seeds also. Even Nepenthes or Drosera, pink butterworts, utilitarias, every carnivorous plant. You might have noticed that utricularias which are growing on rocky terrains where water reaches during monsoon season, they're in that condition when there is enough water and when the situation is wet, these plants bloom profusely and they produce a lot of seeds, which are falling at the same place, but they go through the whole summer. The whole summer they are in hot sun. All these plants die, but they recur. All these seeds survive the summer and they recur when the next rain comes. So these plants produce very strong, thick skinned seeds. That is their adaptation to survive the season, to come up when their season is favorable. Now let's talk about the habitats where these plants are usually found. So these plants are, as we discussed initially, they are found only at places where there are no minerals in the soil. So it could be, if you look at peatlands, peatlands are there in Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina. There are, sphagnum bogs and peatlands. There you can find a lot of Venus flytraps in wild, and even Drosera. So it is a place where the medium is very acidic. It is quite acidic, and also it is wet and no nutrients. So it is a typical carnivorous plant growing medium. Okay, so if you take, consider India's terrains, we have a Nepenthes in northeast, which is called the Khasiana. So just one Nepenthes or pitcher plant is growing in India, and that is in the northeast, Khasiana. So there, um uh, there is enough rainfall. But why does this plant grow there? Because it is because always, they have enough rainfall, which keeps the minerals leaching out with the rainfall, with the water. So there is wetness but no minerals. So that is how it has found a perfect spot to flourish. And the second picture you can see is Drosera peltata, and uh, it is usually found in Iravikulam areas and all, uh, Kandalur areas in Kerala. But they are seen typically growing on rocks, just rocks. So there'll be no soil or in particular any medium. It could be just the leaf litter or some dead mediums there. So it is a very interesting species. And also, if you look at utricularias, which is a typical habitat that you find utricularias is at, if you have gone to a waterfall anywhere in Kerala, you are sure to find a utricularia somewhere nearby. It can grow lithophytic, like it can grow on rocks, literally rocks where there is wetness. It will just get attached to the rock. There is a utricularia called striatula. It is a lovely looking flower. It has orchid like, very tiny, but it looks like orchids. They grow on trees like epiphytic as well as lithophytic. So these are the conditions. Like I've just hashtagged them like they are keywords, so that if you go to some places where you are likely to see such conditions altogether, you might be lucky to find some carnivorous plant growing in wild. Yes. So yeah, these are the typical Indian carnivorous plants that you would find. There are many more, like Utricularia family. If you look alone, the Utricularia family, there are 20 plus plants growing in India, and most of them are in the Western Ghats, especially in Kerala. And the first one is a Drosera burmanii. It is just of coin size, maybe a 5 rupee coin or maximum of 10 rupee coin. That is the size. And you will probably see them in, silt, like where rivers are flowing and it has a sand base. You are probably um, looking at a place where these might grow. And they are very season specific, so you might not find them in all seasons. Then there is Nepenthes khasiana I just talked about. And here, this is Drosera indica, as well as Utricularia growing in the same habitat. So if you find a Drosera somewhere, you will likely find Utricularia also in the same similar conditions. So if you look around in the same area, you might find both. This is Utricularia, which is aquatic. And this is Utricularia reticulata. Reticulata with the pink bluish flowers is the most common Utricularia that you will find in Kerala, especially in Madai Para. You might have all heard about especially people in Kerala might have heard about the Kakapu Vasandam. Kakapu Vasandam usually is denotes this flowering season of Utricularia reticulata. Okay, it is a specific area. It's a plateau where it is laterite stone, and it the whole plateau or the whole area is covered with Utricularia blooms in a particular season near to Onam, like August, September time. If you go there, you will see a bed of Utricularia reticulata all blooming at the same time, and it's a beautiful, wonderful sight, which is now attracting a lot of people there to for photography, taking videos and all. But unfortunately, that's causing a lot of loss also. That's making a lot of fuss there. They're damaging a lot of plants. So obviously, everywhere this happens when there is some attraction. People are not bothered about what will be there for the next season, but they just want to explore, and they can explore. They're free. Everybody is free to explore and see them, but I think it should be in a conscious way. So this is the Pinguicula alpina. There is only one Pinguicula species in India, which is in the Himalayas, and they are very, very rare sighting. And this is just the single species that we have, like the Nepenthes khasiana. This is Pinguicula alpina. And this is the orchid looking like flower that I told you about. It is Utricularia striatula. These are very, very beautiful flowers. They bloom in bunches and very attractive flowers. Since they're very tiny, I don't know, people might, sometimes miss them. And they don't know what is going on under their roots. They are deadly carnivorous plants. So, yeah, this is in general about carnivorous plants, and I would like to keep the forum open for discussion, and I would like to answer any questions that might be answerable, like that I can answer. Please feel free to unmute and go on.
Mm. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
hello, sir. Yes,
Uh, Hello. My name is Dr. Raghavendra Dubey, and
yes,
I don't have a question. I just want to educate myself. Actually, as for
okay,
my knowledge, this insectivorous plant, they derive their nutrition from plant. Uh, Sorry, this insectivorous plant, they derive
yes,
their nutrition from animal proteins and animal metabolites. And
yes,
this insectivore is not common in the plant. No?
yeah,
Insectivore is not common in the plants, and
yes,
this
yes,
and the this enzyme so-called chitinase, which play very important role in the insectivore, and it is also found in the algae or in other plant group like papaya or avocado. But I don't know what is the evolutionary relationship or what is the consequences which create this insectivore in the plants, and this presence of this insect digestive enzyme so-called chitinase, because the insect exoskeleton is made up of chitin. And
mm,
so my question, the query, whether and you told me, you told in the your lecture, this different type of insectivore trapping mechanism. So is there
yes.
this is independently involved, or is there is any evolutionary relationship among all these different taxa? Means in Nepenthes, you see
Different.
there is a trapping mechanism is different.
Mm,
In Drosera is different. In
yeah.
some there is a water suction kind of mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I have enthusiasm to know this is how this is in the evolution, this is bifurcate, because every if you see in the key point, because trapping mechanism is different but
Yeah.
digestive system is same, and the
Yes.
requirement is same because the plant which is grow in the nitrogen and phosphorus deficient area only. because uh,
Yes.
because when I was in the NBRI, in the NBRI
Mm-hmm.
National Botanical Research Institute, so one of the group from this plant taxonomy or some other group, they collected some insectivorous plant and they created a insectivorous plant house in the
Oh,
NBRI. But I
nice.
think I don't know why these plants are not very active, as you saw in the images. So I just want to know, okay, how this in evolution they bifurcate. Means their
Mm-hmm.
mechanism is trapping mechanism is different, but requirement is
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? What I am saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes. Yes.
you are
I
saying
got
that there
it.
is a different kind of trapping mechanism, na? I agree.
Yeah.
But
In
requirement,
all families. Yeah.
but all different genus also called taxa. But
Uh,
you see the basic requirement, every this plant means this insectivorous plant, it is either it is nepenthes or drosera or sardiu or sarcinia or uticularia. They have same requirement. All trap
yes.
insect just because of this protein and metabolites, because they use the
Right.
animal protein and metabolite for the nitrogen, phosphorus,
Mm,
and other purpose. No?
right.
So
Yes.
can you tell me something?
What I have read from different papers and research papers is that these different families has it is just Nepenthaceae and Droseraceae are the two families which has evolved long back, like the oldest families that has developed, but they both has different mechanisms. And yeah, so yes. Um, so, see, even if they have evolved at, that is what I initially said, that they have all evolved at different lineages, the different timelines. But somehow their interesting studies has come out that their, purpose is the same, like you said. It is just trapping insects and digesting them, but somehow their mechanisms are all different, and I'm not sure why they are different, but it is up to the maybe the structure of the plant might have resulted in such an evolution of different mechanisms. Not sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was teaching, so some of the students they asked me the several things
Oh,
about, yeah,
okay.
insectivorous plant as a course.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah. So I have
Saurav,
two. Yes,
yes.
ma'am. Saurav speaking here. I have two questions. I will make it very short, ma'am.
Sure.
So, was it very difficult to classify insectivorous plant by taxonomists at the beginning, because we see Protista iglunoids. They are also
Mhm.
doing mixotrophic kind of nutrition. So that was my
Uh,
first question. Was it very difficult to classify them? And second is, in nutrient deficient place, what evolutionary advantage this plant had over native plants which are growing there? So is there any reproductive success over there, or which are the natural predators of these plants? So these are the only two.
um, okay. So, regarding the taxonomy, I'm not sure about how was the taxonomical classifications done. I'm not an expert in taxonomy of these plants. I'm sorry about that. But yes, the second part, that these plants have evolved in such places where it has an extra benefit than the natural, native plants, that the other native plants that has been growing there, because other plants are they were easier to reproduce once these places become waterlogged, or even their acidity might differ at different climates. So in those conditions, the other plants which are not carnivorous, they would completely die off and then they regenerate in a favorable condition. But regarding carnivorous plants, what they do is they wouldn't die off, but they would go into a hibernation when their situation is not favorable. So there are examples of Venus flytraps which grow in a temperate climate where there is snowfall. So when there is snowfall, usually they get covered up with snow, but that is a sleeping or a hibernation time for these plants. So they have a tuberous structure at the bottom which remains sleeping or which is inactive during the snowfall time. And once the snow is all gone and when the spring bounds up, the same plants grow back. So that is not possible for the regular plants. They would depend on the seeds and they have to start from the beginning. So usually, but for generally for trees, we have seen they would simply for their leaves are fallen and then they would be just branches, and once the spring hits, they regenerate their leaves. But smaller other plants are unable to do that. So they would be completely wiped off and then they have to grow back using the seeds which are underneath. So that is one benefit of these plants growing in such acidic and boggy conditions. The third question was their predators. I have seen few insects attacking these plants here in my place. So yes, there are predators. There are insects there are caterpillars which eat, moth caterpillars which eat leaves. Even the traps are eaten up. And there is another bug which drinks the fluid out of the leaves of Nepenthes, and it is almost it is all crumbled up and it would dry off ultimately. There are other predators also. I guess there are other insects also attacking these plants.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Abdul Latif, sir, you may ask the question.
If he's not asking, can I ask? I'm next in line.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Lakshmi, awesome presentation. I was really invigorated by your presentation. I'm waiting to meet you sometime in the near future. So I have a few questions. So I'm an entomologist. I'm Dr. Chitra Shankar. I'm an entomologist.
Okay.
So I am very interested from the prey point of view. So I would like to know, is there any protocol how to study the prey spectrum, what falls into each plant? See, you talked about bladderworts, which is very common in rice fields actually. I'm a rice entomologist.
Yes.
So how do I, without doing a destructive sampling, how can I study what is the prey which falls into this? Is it any possibility is there? Is there any protocol for studying what insects are being eaten by these?
So are you in particular asking about Utricularia?
Utricularia is also there, and anything. If I want to do Drosera,
Any. Okay.
we get 2-3 species of Drosera. Drosera is easy. You just have to see and check, right? But what would be
Right.
Is there any protocol which is established?
Yeah. So see, taking each families, I think they are very different. Like
I can see that.
Way, yeah. So they are the way of their growth type it is different. So if you look into Utricularia, they are mostly having the traps are like just 1 mm, 2 mm sized traps. So they would possibly have insects which are in the water, like very micro organisms. And I have also seen that mosquitoes don't spread in water. They are not getting breeded in water where I have grown utricularis. So
Awesome.
it is, yeah. So it is possible to control mosquito larvae in a very initial stage. So if you look into Nepenthes, it is quite absolutely different.
Yeah.
When you look into Nepenthes, it has a very special characteristic that it creeps. You know that it winds in after a particular stage. It will climb onto
Yeah.
trees or whatever support it gets. So what happens is that it has three levels of picture production. So in the base, it's called the basal pictures. So the basal pictures, which are on the ground, touching the ground, would be very attractive, very colorful, and it would be like a absolute picture, like a very fat one.
Okay.
That is for crawling insects. It is
Okay.
only looking into crawling insects like ants. Ants are the main food which Nepenthes finds in the basal level. So once it becomes a little taller, it tries to form intermediate pictures. Intermediate pictures would be still colorful, but a little bit narrow for flying insects. So it would be attracting mostly butterflies and
Wow.
bees, large ones, wasps, and such insects which fly and reach these
Pollen.
pictures. And once it grows very tall, it forms the upper pictures. Upper pictures are not attractive at all. Like they're very pale, mostly green in color. It tries to look just like a leaf, and it would hardly find insects as prey also. It is it finds not important to have attractive pictures at the top because it is difficult to find insects in a very
On the
top
level.
level. Yeah, so that is a very interesting feature of Nepenthes that I've found. And if you look at Drosera, Droseras are usually attracting
Roaches and
any insect which is attracted to light, because these dews on Droseras will be shining
shining.
like
Yeah.
crystals in bright
Okay.
light. So insects would simply flow and they'll fly and get stuck onto it. There are but I am not able to find any particular pattern in Drosera trapping, any particular kind of insects. They pretty much trap anything which
Okay.
fly past them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how to streamline them. Maybe you will have to pick up
Some
one of the
protocol from
families,
somewhere. Yeah.
one particular family, and then find whatever insect it is exposed to.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any species which are protected in these groups?
Yeah, yes. Nepenthes khasiana is a protected species.
Okay. Okay.
It is a red-listed plant. It is offensive to buy or sell them. Earlier, it was used by the local people for tribals to. It was used as a medicine, I guess. So the unopened pictures, the fresh pictures, which are just developing, it will have very once the lid opens, there are insects falling in. So even before the lid opens, it was collected and the enzyme was used for some medicinal purposes. And also there was heavy poaching going on. So now it is strictly protected by now the locals are taking care of it, actually.
Any book especially for insectivorous plants in India?
No, I haven't found
Are you going
any
to
books.
come out with one?
Yeah. Probably.
Any
A
link to your
project
publications? Do we have some publications which we can go to?
not on carnivorous plants. I'm actually having a lot of interest, and I'm studying moths now.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
yes.
Wonderful, Lakshmi. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for We appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hello, hello, Lakshmi. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Lakshmi. Hope
I'm
you remember me. I'm Anuj.
Anuj.
I'm an
Yes.
entomologist
Yes.
and assistant professor in Kerala University. We met in
Thank.
the TNHS lunar survey.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Basically,
do
I
remember.
also work with the flies. I work on the
Ah.
taxonomy of flies, especially hoverflies. So
Okay.
your presentation was very good, very interesting.
Thank you.
My
Thank
question
you.
is regarding this some of the flies. See, while you are
Okay.
I think you are growing Drosera also in your garden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have you come across flies? I mean, as pollinating them. I mean, Drosera.
Yes. Actually, I've seen flies pollinating Nepenthes,
Okay.
not Drosera. Droseras are very tiny flowers. So I'm not sure. I've never seen flies in Drosera, is what I remember. I've seen honeybees, very tiny ones, um, but not
Yeah.
flies.
See,
Yeah.
why I'm asking this is in Drosera. See, there was
Mm.
a classic study which published in 2016, and it was
Okay.
telling about what is called as kleptoparasitism. I mean,
Ah,
yeah. So
yes, yes, yes.
these flies, these syrphid flies, that is a paper is from Brazil and the record is from Brazil. What they do is
Oh,
they crawl through these sticky pads. I mean, without getting stuck. I mean, the
okay.
larvae crawl through the sticky pads, and then they eat what is getting trapped in the sticky traps.
Oh,
You got it.
wow.
I mean, they're
Right,
kind of
right, right.
kleptoparasitic. I mean, they are robbers of the robbers.
Mm.
So, I mean, not recorded in India till now. Maybe since you're growing it, if you're coming across such
Yeah.
curious this thing, no,
Mm.
it's very interesting to kind of thing. I mean, they're syrphid flies.
Yeah.
I can share you
Okay,
the
okay.
paper.
I'll take a
Yeah.
note of it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check them.
And few more small doubts. I mean, see,
Yes.
when exactly you feel? I mean, they have evolved. I mean, after angiosperms. I mean, who is the? I mean, kind of evolutionary. Who will be the ancestors of this? Probably they are much more
Mm.
evolved than the plants we see around us, right?
Yeah, that is
Recent,
true.
yeah.
No, I have not much information about that,
Okay.
Anuj. Yeah.
And have you seen other organisms like maybe small amphibians and all being digested? Have you seen it happening?
I have seen lizards, geckos inside,
Okay. I mean,
but
getting
not.
digested.
Yeah, yeah, they have. There are pitcher plants. There are nepenthes which are having quite big pitchers. They're not native to India, but I have been growing them, like
Okay.
Miranda, Mojito. So
Okay.
these pitchers are pretty big, like maybe half of your arm length, and
Okay.
they have. Their quantity of fluids inside is also higher than the other ones. So I have seen geckos, house geckos,
Oh,
trapped in
super.
them.
Okay.
Yeah, but not other frogs, or frogs are there in the garden since it's all wet, always wet, and
Okay.
it has water bodies in between. There are frogs around, but I've never seen them getting trapped um, in these pictures.
Okay.
Talking about kleptoparasitism, I have noticed a crab spider living inside pictures,
Oh,
and
is it? Okay.
yeah, and catching the insects which are probable prey for the pictures.
Okay.
But yeah, I have. Yes, I've think I have
Yeah.
written it over
It-
somewhere in my Facebook also
Yeah.
about it. Yes.
Yeah. It will be very interesting if you can trap some insects. I mean, which are around your
Ah,
gardens
which are
in
around.
your this thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you use specialized mediums for this growth? I mean, for your plants.
Yes. Yeah. Since we are saying this over and over that they need a nutrient deficient condition to grow, but it needs a lot of water and humidity and sun. So these factors are humidity, rainfall, and sun is plenty here in Kerala. So it is just the medium that it grows is something I have to prepare especially for them. So I use mostly coco peat based, just no soil, but just peat is what they need to grow.
Actually, it is
Uh,
interesting. I mean, yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, so mostly some plants like Venus flytraps are not very, it needs that snowfall time during December's. So that is a very taxing to grow them here in Kerala. But still, we try to give them artificial, you know, hibernation period and all.
Okay.
So
So
otherwise, I think they grow in sphagnum moss and
okay.
also coco peat, which is acidic. They need acidic medium to grow.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think those which are kind of digesting the geckos and all, maybe having some other enzymes other than chitinase, maybe because
Yeah, that is
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
I've just seen a color change in the liquid when these geckos fall inside. It becomes totally like milk. It becomes
Yeah.
white. I'm not sure what is going on inside. I need to, you know, try learning
Maybe
them in
yeah.
detail.
Maybe learning about the pollinators, especially these flies, will be very
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, which pollinates
Yes.
around them. Maybe there are hoverflies or syrphids also,
Uh-huh.
which are going to pollinate them. If you can
Okay.
collect, when it can be easily identified, we can. I mean, it's very good
Sure.
to study those. It's a very interesting taxa. No, I mean, kind of.
Yeah, that is right.
Yeah. Thanks, Lakshmi, for your good
Thank you.
presentation. Okay.
Thank you so much, Anuj.
Okay.
Abdul Latif, sir, you may go next.
Hello, Lakshmi.
Hi. Hello, sir.
Let me congratulate you on a very interesting, unique, and very interesting topic which you have talked about.
Thank
Um,
you.
a couple of questions already been answered. My question was about the parasites attacking the plants.
Ah,
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. My question: let's just to add to your topic. Let's not make this plant as a villain actually, because there's a
yeah.
symbiotic relation also. Because I seen a documentary where a shrew licking the honey part of that sweet
Yeah.
part, nectar of it, and it has got a laxative reaction. It leaves a drop inside the pitcher plant.
Yes.
The
Hello,
dropping is
madam.
nutrition, actually. The dropping has become nutrition for the plant. Actually, it's not always insect. I seen one.
Yes.
I just wonder. And one more thing. The saplings are available of pitcher plant. I mean, the carnivorous plants.
Yeah, it is. There are. I think
Hello.
I can hear my voice.
Yeah, you're clear. No worries.
Yeah. Okay. So there are a lot of sellers and growers in India around. Some in Northeast, and yeah, there are people who are collectors and also they are selling them. Um, even I also give away, extra plants that I have because it's an expensive hobby. So yeah, I used to do that. Now mostly I keep it for myself. These are available in market. Yes.
Okay, madam. Let me clarify one doubt.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes.
I want to know when a trapped object is found not edible, what mechanism it is ousted, the
Mm.
object.
Yeah. So it is specifically about Venus flytrap, right? Yeah. So Venus flytraps, once they find out that when they are closed with the two triggers alone, if they understand that it is not a potential prey or food that it can consume, it would wait. It would wait for at least one day and open the next day. So it would be just some leaf litter, or you can even try feeding it a dead insect. If you try to feed a dead insect, what will happen is when you're placing it, it has triggers, so it will try to close. But once you take off your hand and once you leave it to the trap, then it understands that the prey is dead or it is not a potential prey, that it is not moving. So it wouldn't digest it. That is what happens. So it would open the next day, and this dead insect will just fly away in rain or wind. It would just clear off. A
Okay.
trap, a trap. Once for opening and closing, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy in the sense, if you're giving it a false trigger, you should understand that you're taking away a chance of the plant to catch an insect. So usually we don't give false triggers to Venus flytrap, because one single trap can trap insects for a maximum of 5 times. So a single trap. So after 5 times, their action would be very minimal, like they become slower, and also they just get dried off.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Lakshmi. I'm
Hi,
Manisha from Kerala.
Manj. Hi.
Really
Thank you for
happy,
joining.
in fact, proud to see you as a resource person here. I know your expertise in this field is exceptional. And the session was really excellent, Lakshmi. Congratulations. My question
Thank
is
you.
also about Venus flight trap.
Mm.
Of all the carnivorous plants that I've seen, this one is really amazing. We can actually really see very fast the movement is now. Is it
Yes.
actually what's the exact mechanism of closing of the trap? Is it something similar to the Tigmonasty that is shown by Mimosa,
Yes.
where the turgor pressure changes?
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
similar to that?
Tigmonasty is the yes, exactly. Tigmonasty is the principle of Venus flytrap. Also, in the for the mechanism, it uses the same principle as a mimosa. It is a turgor pressure that makes the flaps from convex to concave. It would initiate that action, and it starts from the feelers actually.
Okay. One more thing
Yes.
is that like the carnivorous plants evolved these mechanisms to obtain nutrients in
Mhm.
nutrient deficient or nutrient poor habitats. Now,
Yes.
is there any example or whether they have tried some other mechanisms like this epiphytism or something like that? Because epiphytes are also growing in areas where that much nutrient is not available. Is there any
Mm.
example or in the evolution where such plants have also attempted epiphyty?
Yeah, there are epiphytic carnivorous plants. Like bromeliads are usually epiphytic, and there is an bromeliad uh, carnivorous plant which is called catopsis. It is
No.
very similar looking to a bromeliad only, but there it has been found that the water which is logged in the crown of these bromeliads of like catopsis, uh, it can absorb the nutrients from dead insects. So there is always water logged in the center of these catopsis. And usually bromeliads, if you see, there is always water at the center or in the crown,
Yeah.
and it usually digests or it gets nutrients from the debris, leaf debris, and whatever plant materials which are dead. It falls into this water and it gets absorbed. So that is a nutrition which the
Pattern.
bromeliad gets. So when you're fertilizing a bromeliad, you usually put it in the crown so that it absorbs easily. So catopsis is one such example where it has been found that it can absorb nutrients from dead insects also for food. So it is unofficially an epiphytic carnivorous plant. And also there are uticlarias which grow epiphytic. It is example Utrigularia striatula. You can see them on trees as well as on rocks. They are epiphytic as well as lithophytic.
Okay, thank you. Excellent
Thank
session,
you.
Lakshmi.
Thanks, Manjusha.
Thank you.
Hello, Lakshmi.
Hello.
I am another Manjusha from Kerala.
Okay.
That's cool.
Long ago,
That's
I
nice.
heard that Drosera burmani is an endangered one.
Okay.
Is it now
Uh,
existing?
yeah, definitely they are existing.
Where we
There
can
is,
see that?
it is all over in the Western Ghats. You can see, not only in Western Ghats, actually in Northeast also. It is actually spread all over India, but not in very dry conditions. But it can be found near to water bodies, usually rivers, and where if it is a the condition that you need to look for is the water should be purest form, or it cannot grow in in a polluted water body or
Okay.
anywhere nearby polluted water body. So if you are at a waterfall or a fresh stream, you look for areas where there is sand, silt, which is deposited on the side of the rivers where it is always wet. And you can definitely find utriculaриas and droseras, especially serpents and Burmanii in the same condition. So
Okay.
Burmanii was in endangered condition, and it is still I think in the endangered condition only. But since we are in the Western Ghats, it is quite a common sight if you go for trekking or hiking in a mountain region. You might be lucky to find something if it is a
Okay.
perfect season. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. One more question, Lakshmi. How many
Yeah.
species of insectivorous plants can be seen in Kerala?
In Kerala, in particular, I've come to know that there are 3 droseras in India,
Okay.
which is Burmanii, serpents, and peltata. Peltata is a tuberous one also, slightly
Okay.
different from the other 2. And there are 20 plus species of utricularias, and yeah, that's it. No other carnivorous plants in Kerala.
Okay. Thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions?
Dr. Krishnapriya, ma'am, you may go next.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Lakshmi.
Hi.
Thank you
Hi,
for the
Krishna.
presentation.
Thank you.
Actually, I am working in Utricularia, genus Utricularia.
Okay.
There are lots of paper publications are available about the feeding ecology or the feeding strategy of carnivorous
Okay.
plants, and you could also refer that too. And there
Okay.
are books also about the carnivorous plants. It was recently published in 2018 by Ellison and
Okay.
Adamek. It is downloadable and you can use.
Okay.
And you
Could
can
you
also
please
refer the.
could you please post a link in the comment section, because somebody else also asked for a reference book,
Yeah,
which I was
I
not
will give
sure
you the
about.
reference. You
Yeah.
can download
Sure.
by searching itself.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
have
you.
some suggestions.
Hmm.
Don't feel bad, and I am interfering. I
Oh,
have only some
please,
suggestions.
please feel free to correct me, because I'm not a
Okay.
botanist, and
Actually,
it is
carnivorous
just, yeah.
plants have been evolved in 6 independent orders of angiosperm families. That is,
Okay.
they are convergently evolved in 6 orders of angiosperm families, and it is
Okay.
found in 13 families. It's in 6
13
orders of 13 families, and a
families.
total of 800 species, more than 800 species in 20
Okay.
genera.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
That was
And
that's a news
okay,
for
and
me.
okay, and in
Yeah.
India, we have 5 species of 5 genus, different genus:
Mm. Mm.
Utricularia, Drosera, Pingicula,
Yeah.
Aldrovanda, and Nepenthes.
Aldrovanda. I think
Aldrovanda,
Aldrovanda is in the wedge of extinction, I guess. Right?
yes, it's only
Yes.
a sole member, and it is also called as water wheel plant. It's a very interesting
Yeah.
plant, and the trapping
Mm.
mechanism is just like that of Dainia
Oh,
snap trap.
okay.
Yes,
Snap trap. Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
in the case of Dainia, actually the leaves, all the carnivorous plants are equipped with traps, and the leaves are evolved into traps.
Yeah.
All
It's
carnivorous
like an
plants have,
extension.
yes, the leaves are modified into traps and perform the
Mm.
function of uh, carnivory, which perform the
Carnivory.
function of carnivory. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
in the case of Dainia, it's the snap trapping mechanism. Actually, it is the second fastest movement. The first fastest movement in the plant kingdom is the utricularia suction trapping
Utricularia.
mechanism. Yeah, it
Yes.
is the
Yes.
fastest movement recorded in the plant kingdom.
Right. I think I mentioned that earlier. Yes.
Yes, it is the fastest movement. And
Mm-hmm.
in the case of Dainia,
Yeah.
you said that the two lobes. Inside these lobes, there are some mechanosensory hairs. That is
Yeah.
like a triggering mechanism. These
Right.
triggers or these mechanosensory hairs, which triggers the plant and which in turn detects that there is a prey organism,
Mm.
and which functions the closing of, which in turn moves to the closure of the trap. That is the two
Right.
lobes of the leaves. Yes,
Yeah.
and in I have one more suggestion, correction, that the
Uh-huh.
trap will wait for only 20 to 30 minutes. Once the prey touches the mechanosensory hairs, it waits for
Mm-hmm.
at least 30 seconds, and it suddenly shut down. And when it is digested, it usually opens after around 10 days, after 10 days normally. And
No, I
yeah,
I don't think that is right because I grow them here. So this is just my
in the
experience
case,
that I shared
okay. But
about this.
sorry,
Yeah.
in the case of in the natural habitats, Dania, the trapping function is like that. You can
That
refer some
depends. Yeah.
publication. Yeah,
Uh, yes, I think as I told you, it depends on the size of the prey that they have caught.
yeah.
So if they are very small, they can open on the second day. But once it has caught a larger prey, it opens up only after 4 or 5 days. That is what I have seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't fed
Actually,
them with larger insects. Maybe that's why.
okay. And a trap, it's a costly investment, right? For a
Yeah,
carnivorous
that is
plant, a
right.
trap
Yeah.
is a costly investment, and it is
Mm-hmm.
profitable only when it is successfully captured a prey.
Right. So it is
That's
very
why,
taxing for them
yeah,
for a single time. If it closes and opens it without food, it is very taxing for the plant.
yes. And
Yeah.
I'm not remember the names are told about
Ah,
tree shrew, that one
yeah.
Nepal, the
Yes.
connection
Yes.
with some
Yes.
tree shrew.
Yes.
Actually, the tree shrew, they are a squirrel, like a small mammal like squirrels. They have a
Right.
mutualistic association with the one Nepal
Association with.
species.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
It
Nepenthes
is.
lovi. You can also
Yeah.
get some videos.
Lovii. Yeah.
Yes,
Nepenthes lovii.
Nepenthes
Yes.
lovia. Yes, actually, they are benefited by the poops of the tree shrews.
Shrews.
Yes, they have a
Yeah.
mutualistic association, and the Nepenthes luvi feeds on the poops of the tree shrews, and the tree shrew is used like it like a toilet,
Yeah.
and
It can.
it is attracted
Yes.
with the nectars of the lead, the nectar present in the lead, and
It licks the sugar which is formed on the lid, and
yes.
it produces a laxative kind of effect for the shrew. So that is
Yes.
when it
But
sits
actually,
and
it's not a.
poops in the
It will not capture the squirrel tree shrew.
shrew.
They
No,
have
no,
a
no. Yeah,
mutualistic association, and
yes. And the Nepenthes is getting 100% nitrogen product from the
yes.
shrew.
Tree shrew, there are another one that is
Mhm.
woolly bat. Woolly bat.
Bats.
Yes,
They stay inside
yes,
the.
yes, yes, yes,
Mm,
yes. They stay inside, and they also have a mutualistic association.
okay.
I just wanted intend to talk that not only they are carnivorous, they are mutually benefited.
Benefited,
Not the,
yes.
yes, all are not carnivorous. Some are like they are mutually benefited.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
And
And I
yes,
was not aware of the evolutionary fact that you told me. Thank you so much for that.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Is there any?
next we have a question in the chat box from Gayatri
Okay.
Suresh.
Okay. Yes. You have already told us about antagonistic relationship of carnivorous plants. Are there any specific relationship between them and other plants or animals where the other species can only exist in their presence? If so, what is their significance from a conservation standpoint? Uh, as per my knowledge, I haven't seen. I'm not aware of any uh, other living organism which are entirely depending on nepenthes. Yeah, definitely. We Anuj talked about the kleptoparasitism, but that is also not a completely dependent type of a relationship with these carnivorous plants. I'm I'm not sure about if there are any other insects absolutely living on them. Um, is Gayatri here?
Yeah, Gayatri is here, ma'am, but she can't unmute, I think.
Okay, okay, yeah. So this is that's it.
Yeah, Lakshmi, but I mean, I can supplement in the sense, even that
Yeah.
paper which tells about this hoverfly, which is kleptoparasitic. I mean, it is
Uh-huh.
not kind of an obligate association. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Right.
is just using it as one of that. But the
Mm.
best way to address such question will be to look at when this carnivorous plants, when did the maximum radiation happen? I mean, radiation of the species happened in
Species
course of
happen.
evolution. Yeah,
Mm.
probably
Okay.
if you look at beetles, I mean, angiosperms
Ah.
in general. I mean, and beetles have a very close association. I mean, the radiation happened when there was maximum of radiation happening in angiosperms also. So
Right.
similarly, we can if there are maybe there are studies which shows how they have radiated in relation with some of these insects. I mean, which
Okay.
groups of insect? Maybe it will be interesting to address. I mean, when we look at the evolutionary kind of stuff, I mean, how they have
Okay.
radiated in vis-a-vis these insects. I mean, that will
Okay.
be interesting to maybe we can refer something like that to address
Yes.
such
Yes.
question.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
just taken a note of it, and
yeah, yeah.
I'll look into it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you,
I
Vinay.
also maybe we have to refer it. Maybe there are some studies available. I don't know. Okay,
I'm sure
thanks.
there would be.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Lakshmi,
Hi.
Lakshmi Kiran.
Hi.
Th- Thank you, Lakshmi.
Yes.
Excellent question. Actually, with your guidance, I am doing some of the carnivorous plants here in Gulf, but in the
Uh,
not, terrariums.
terrariums. Yeah, that was amazing. Amazing.
Actually, Nepenthes is surviving most. I have tried the Venus flytrap. I think because of the dormancy, I don't know. Then it's
Mm.
not. But I have a
Right. Right.
question.
Yes.
See, all these plants, carnivorous plants, are from angiosperm, right? All are flowering
Mm.
plants. There is no other
Mm.
angi- uh, carnivorous plants other than
No.
no,
No. They're
other
all
than.
flowering plants.
So it
Yes.
all evolved. Okay, so
Yeah.
evolved recently.
Now I understand. It has evolved from angiosperms.
Yeah. So after dinosaurs. Okay.
Mm.
Excellent session. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Kiran.
Is there any other questions? Ma'am, actually, in chat box, Jahana has asked, isn't Rosera indica a native?
Yes, Drosera indica is a native plant. Yes. You mean endemic to India? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Is there any
Uh,
other question?
um, Thanks, Dr. Krishnapriya, for the reference book. Yeah, so I think somebody had asked for Indian carnivorous plants, especially. We'll check if there is any books.
Okay, I hope there are no more questions.
Okay.
So, as we come to the end of today's session, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Lakshmi Ashok Kumar for a fascinating and insightful talk on When Plants Turn Predators, the story of carnivorous plants. Through our engaging presentation, we explored the extraordinary world of carnivorous plants and gained a deeper understanding of their remarkable adaptations, diverse trapping mechanisms, and ecological significance. Insights have certainly inspired us to look at plants from an entirely new perspective. We also thank everyone who joined and actively participated in today's session. Your curiosity and enthusiasm continue to make BioWorks a vibrant and growing scientific community. Before we conclude, I would like to remind you all about tomorrow's BioWorks BioTalk session. We are delighted to host Mr. Saurabh Mahajan, citizen scientist and teacher at Oak Ridge International School, who will be delivering a talk on Galapagos Island and story of evolution. Join us tomorrow from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. as we journey through one of the most iconic landscapes in history of evolutionary biology. Registrations for BioTalk are still open, so if you're passionate about any topic in biology or life sciences, this is your opportunity to step up and lead a session with BioWorks. Interested participants can register through the form shared in the BioWorks group or through the link available in our Instagram bio. With that, we officially conclude today's session. Thank you all for participating in this discussion. See you tomorrow for another exciting BioWorks session. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the whole team for giving me this opportunity. It was lovely doing this. And it was a learning experience for me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So it was so insightful, actually.
Thank you.